everyone, and welcome back. I was just literally on for the morning show, and now we are back with Rival Bros over here. Rival Bros, I think like match day 4 we're going to talk about. I'm your host, Timuçin, as always, representing Liverpool, and Edip is in Istanbul, pretending to be at Old Trafford. What's going on?
Very well. Thank you. I will be
Tim's
pretending that everything went very well this weekend and everything is dandy and we are not in a crisis again for the 19th time or something.
Yeah, that Burnley win really propelled this team to another whole other level. So we'll talk a lot about that. I do want to ask you. I did mention for you to make sure you kind of take a look at Amorim's Mourinho impression as well as Fernandez's post match and stuff like that. But Ozan, okay, we got to get this out of the way. He says, "Bring the original, legit Turkish one." First of all, I resent
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Have you
thank you.
ever
Thank you.
tried
I am
keşkek before?
Yep. I don't really like it a lot. Have you?
I don't think I've ever had. I didn't even know what the hell it was. First of all, I had to look it up when he asked
Okay.
us live, and I don't think I. When the hell did you have keşkek?
A couple of years ago, I think. We were in
So for the
Gaziantep.
record, it took over 50 years for you to be
Yeah.
in Turkey to even try
Yeah,
keşkek.
it's,
So
it's
that's
not an everyday dish, is it? I mean, have you ever had keshik when you were here, like the first
no. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like
20
you've been
something
there
years?
freaking 50. Let's throw your age under the bus over here. But you've been there 58 years.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, so it took you 55 years to try keşkek after living
Yeah,
in Turkey. So that says it all, by the way. So
exactly.
yes. So in your face, Ozan, that is not a big thing over there. You can insist all you want. Nobody knows. Nobody cares about keşkek. It does look like somebody threw up on a plate, to be fair, when I looked it online. And I've never even seen it. Like I don't know what kind of restaurant even serves it. Like where did you have it?
I think we were in Gaziantep or something. We were in. I tried it. I mean, if well, in Istanbul, I wouldn't be saying let's go
So it's
have
like
some
trying
keshkek.
frog legs.
Yeah,
Right?
probably. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's as bad as that, but
I don't know. To be fair, it looks a lot worse, but that's another thing. Okay, well, let's talk about the match week over here. Obviously, we'll start with ours. Our team is over here. Liverpool, real quick. I mentioned it to you. You kind of poo-pooed a little bit, but then in the post-match in Sky Sports, Gary Neville, your boy Gary Neville, was pretty much saying the same exact thing I said in terms of there's a little bit of inevitability of Liverpool almost getting these last minute goals, similar to he was talking about his era where like it was Fergie time and there was kind of like and I think it's like psychological thing on the opposition as well, that it's not over, man. These guys are going to do it. You're almost expecting something bad to go down and something to happen and stuff like that. But
yeah.
what do you make of it in terms of when you see Liverpool winning, despite, I mean, they dominated. It's very disgusting football by Burnley, mind you. They're not even playing.
Actually,
But what do you like make of it as a
I
rival
think
fan?
this is what, the third time
This is
we're
actually the
getting.
4th time. They
Is it?
won every game after the 83rd minutes. And that was,
Okay.
yeah, the 83rd minutes was the Szoboszlai goal. I
Four
think
and
it's
four. Yeah.
87 or something like that for Chiesa to break it to 3-2. Obviously,
Newcastle was 90 plus.
yeah, 100th or something like that. It's 90 plus
Yeah.
10 or something like
This
that.
is
And
this
then
is
this
90
is
plus.
90 plus 5.
Yeah. I would be saying lucky, but that wouldn't cut it, would it? Really? I think this is like, yeah. I agree to Neville up to a point, but if we paused the game, if you didn't watch the game and if you paused it, like on the 92nd minute, would he actually say the same? I mean, would you bet? I don't know, $100. I'm not going to.
You know what he said? Actually, this is funny. I thought if you haven't watched it, actually, I mean, I watch it
I haven't watched
weekly.
it.
He's like
I
he
have,
does like a little podcast interview thing, like 20 to 25 minutes, kind of like recapping after like the game. That he was at the Manchester Derby, obviously, and then he was talking about
yeah.
that. And he basically said it was the 90th minute. He was downstairs. He's at the Etihad. He's downstairs, so he's gonna take like he had to go, like he was in the truck watching the game, the broadcast truck, and then he has to go upstairs or whatever. And he was walking away saying, you know what, they're gonna score. And then he gets in the elevator to go to the third floor or fifth floor or whatever, where the gantry is, where they're gonna broadcast from. And like the moment he comes out of the elevator, they're like City fans over there saying like, "Hey, Liverpool scored, by the way." And he's like, "I freaking knew it." Because I don't know, didn't you get the same feeling sometimes? It's like, we always made fun of it growing up about like Germans, like German teams. They're like, they're eventually gonna score. Like, it's just inevitable. It will happen. And there's something to that, to play against that, I think.
It's well, first of all, for Neville, it's not the same, because if it was United, you wouldn't be sure.
That's
Were
true.
you
Yeah.
sure? Yeah, I mean, because if it's the same with Galatasaray or Liverpool or City or Arsenal or whatever, if
Yeah.
you're not supporting them, the lucky bastards, they are going to score in the last minute or stuff. Yeah, it's that is inevitable. I mean, thinking about that, I mean, they're going to get away with it again. But I think Klopp's first year, second season, you were getting games when way back when you were loser pool, but you were winning games at the very end, like our Burnley game, and Klopp was having tantrums on the sideline, running like crazy, and that sort of thing. That was what I was trying to say last week. Those are important wins. If you if you carry on doing that, obviously not a one-off, but okay, you are getting them, and that's a culture of winning until the very last minute and blah blah blah. But I would, well, I would be worried if I was a Liverpool fan, because of the way things started this year. You are not, you you are more supposed to dominate score wise, looking at the squad and the other teams. But you're not doing that at the moment. I mean, you can take two views. You can say, like you said last week, well, we are getting 3 points. We are not doing well, but it is important to take the 3 points.
Yeah.
Or you can say, as the season goes on, this is the. Do you have the grasshopper saying in English?
I don't think so.
No, this we have it, right?
We have it.
Three
It's a
times
Turkish thing.
grasshopper. You've done that. You've done that 4 times. So I don't know. I don't know.
And
We'll
yeah, I
see.
mean, the grasshopper is not supposed to jump the third time, right? In the Turkish
Exactly.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we've done it 4 times. This is a
You
super
have the
AI grasshopper that keeps that keeps jumping. But
Yeah.
but I think I agree. I just feel like there's like way negative reaction, if anything. I think, first of all, they've all tough fixtures, and there's no easy fixture. I knew the Burnley game was going to be a tough one. The moment I saw people in the comments saying like, once we score first 3, we can rotate and put this. Whenever like you go into a game thinking it's going to be like, once we secure the score, we can rotate and stuff like that, because that shit never happens. I think nowhere in the Premier League, especially away, that's like an easy thing to do. Burnley away is tricky. I think the fixtures they won have been really tough ones. Arsenal home, Newcastle away, and now we realize Bournemouth home is a tough one too. I think because of the signings and the quality that came in, the expectation is, yes, for you to be, like roll over people. But this is not FIFA Ultimate Team where you can just sign the good guys and play. We talked about this before. I think it's going to take time for it to gel. To me, I'm very optimistic, which is really weird compared to everybody else, because I felt like this is going to be where we drop points, where we fall behind Arsenal, because they're more established with more like less changes, whereas we're trying to do a lot. If you're ahead of Arsenal through your growing pains and you're winning, I think that's like the best case scenario you can ask for. If you're still playing the same way, let's say after the next international break, then I think you can start to get concerned and say, like, oh, did we not get the right guy and stuff? But I think it's too early. And the key now is your winning tradition, your leaders, your Mo's, Van Dijks, and stuff like that are like dragging you across the line, dragging the new guys across the line and getting them into the culture. So, I mean, 4 out of 4, it's kind of hard to complain.
Yeah, well, you're ahead of Arsenal because of the freaking free kick that Soboslai took.
But the counter, correct?
Really, yeah, obviously, but you still are Arsenal away, which I hate to make I don't know, choose between Arsenal or Liverpool. I don't know which. That's nothing to do with me, obviously. Yeah,
It's like the feelings I had when United was playing Galatasaray last year. It was just
yeah,
kind of like a win-win, or like it was a win-win in some ways. I'm going to be happy regardless, but it's a lose-lose at the same time because I'm going to be depressed regardless, kind of a
you
deal.
see
But
that's the difference between a United and a Liverpool fan, because Liverpool, no matter what you do, and if you were in League One or something, will continue to hassle with United. For example, I'm not in two minds. Liverpool playing Galatasaray. I would like Liverpool to beat the shit out of them. So I
but I
think
think
that's
that's because
the
our
thing, isn't it?
Galatasaray thing is. I mean, I hate to say it. Yes, I wanted United to be Galatasaray, but it was one of those. It's a win-win. Like I can't lose because somebody is going to be depressed after this kind of a deal. But I think because our hatred for Galatasaray is way above. But
Yeah,
I think Liverpool fans would see what United is doing. United would see what Liverpool is doing. That's because of a rivalry thing. You might
yeah,
not look up and see what Tottenham did. I probably
no,
won't look up and see what Tottenham did, but we will look and see what the rivals are doing because that's why it's a rivalry. Like you do look at
exactly.
those rivalries. So let's get to the really fun stuff, right? Get to the fun stuff and talk
Yeah.
about United over here. Ozan says, why do you think he's refusing to change his system to suit his players? Do you think his ego is the size of the Bosphorus? He pretty much,
I would say the exact opposite, to be honest, because a lot of managers came and went. It's the players who don't want to change their ways. It's not the other way around.
yeah,
I
but he's
mean,
playing like,
what sort of a system should United play uh, suiting the players? I mean, you don't have a keeper. I mean, we were actually talking about this is our fifth, yeah. Uh,
yeah,
the first episode I told you before the window was closed, the transfer
yep,
window. United needed two things basically, actually three, but let's go with two. One of them was an established, seasoned keeper. The
hmm
other one was just firing Bruno Fernandez, because you don't have a keeper, you don't have a captain. The third thing,
yeah,
you should have a center back. You could have kept Garnachos and whoever. You didn't need a left winger or a right winger. Your
yeah.
problem is in defense and obviously the midfield and the atmosphere among the players. So I would say the exact opposite. It's the players' ego that are and the management's incapability to manage and stay behind their manager, uh,
So
Amorim.
you think he said two things over there? That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
He said two things that I was like, like sometimes you listen to a press conference and it's like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then you're like, wait, what? What did you just say? Two things. One, he said, I'm not going to change. They will have to change the man. Like, I'm going to do this. If you want something different done, then it's not going to be me, kind of a deal.
yeah,
And he said something along the lines of, you guys don't know. I'm kind of like rephrasing over here, but he said something along the lines of like, you guys have no idea what's going on behind the scenes during that time. So does that basically mean he's not the one saying, let me get Embuemo, let me get Cunha, I need more number 10s so that I can play my actual number 10 as a number 6 somehow and playing Fernandez defensively? And he's not a defender. He's never defended. He never tracks his guy back. He's already caused like multiple goals. And then in his press conference, he throws Euro under the bus for that goal at the post match, which has nothing to do. If you watch it, that has nothing to do with what
nothing
happened.
to do with
And none of
it.
it's
No.
right after the game, so he might be misremembering it or whatever. But if you're misremembering it, you still don't throw your, what is that kid, 18, 19? Your
Yeah,
captain should not be throwing the 18-year-old, 19-year-old under the bus. I guarantee you, if Leone plays for Liverpool, makes a mistake, in the post-match, Van Dijk is not going to be like, well, Leone should have pushed up. He's going to say miscommunication or whatever and stuff like that. What do you make of those two things that came from there?
Those are the two things I believe are the real key to understanding what's going on. And surprisingly enough, I think we are the geniuses or something, because nobody's getting this, because it is the it is the exact same thing like Fenerbahce president is doing in Turkey.
Yeah.
He's not getting the result. He's firing the manager and getting a bunch of players who the fans think will solve the problem. The fans think is underlined here, because they don't know shit about shit.
But do you even think the fans think, like, if you ask the United fan, I would think, not that they're very bright, because obviously they support United, but even if you ask like a regular United fan, they would, I mean, nobody's going to say no to Cunha, right? Nobody's going to say no to Mbeumo. But if you said, hey, make me a shopping list, nobody put those. I don't think any United fan would put those. They would put a goalie number one easily, I would think. So that's the same. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you mean about Fenerbahce, but it just feels like any United fan, if you ask them beginning of the transfer, like, hey, what do we need? I guarantee you 80% would put probably goalie 1 or 2 at least.
Okay, let me ask you something. A football fan, wherever in the world, which team they are supporting? A passionate football fan. Liverpool, United, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, whoever. What percentage of that crowd actually knows about the game? Come on, let's. The audience can obviously give what percentage of the fans in the stands or watching on TV know what the game is about.
Okay, when you say we got to establish, hold on. This is like Seinfeld, where it says, about percentage do you think is dateable?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
3% is low. I was gonna go 10 to give benefit of the doubt.
I would say 10, maybe. Yeah.
3 is rough, man. Come on.
But if you are losing, I would go with 3%. If you are losing, the IQ falls. I mean, remember Liverpool fans when you were losing, and the things that they said, and I'm sure we were talking about this. I mean, if you lost 3 games in a row, for example, the things people will be saying about Alisson or Van Dijk or whoever. So that is the 97%. That is like, well, we are only off by 7%. So we can say 9 out of 10 people don't know shit about shit or the game. So the shopping list that a fan makes is not what the club management, the higher management, should be looking at, but they are looking at it because the fan says they have given these good players to this manager and he couldn't make the meal. They gave him all the ingredients. But if you are going to make keşkek, for example, and if they give you I don't know, fish, you can make good keşkek with that, because he knows. Because the thing is this, isn't it? You look at these managers, you hire them because of their past successes.
Yeah,
like Amorim, Klopp, or even Slot. But they had certain circumstances and the environment and the locker room, or whatever you call it, the back of the curtain, to help that success. Nobody can be successful, especially in football management, by their own, unless they are playing Football Manager.
But here's my thing. That's what makes it even worse when the 3%, let's go with the 3%. When even the 97% is saying a goalie for the club. I mean, everybody in the world, I think, would be easily able to say, hey, you have a problem there. Like, this guy might be potentially good, which I don't think he is. Even this week, Fenerbahce just played against Onana. The big irony, by the way. And even then, the balls that he coughed up, they should have probably tapped in a couple of times. But Kazi says, need to change the name of the show. Are Manchester United still a rival? But
Dave, I was just saying that if United was in League Two, it would still be a rival to United, to Liverpool.
And I think it's vice versa. That's kind of like built in.
I'm not sure it's vice versa. I'm not sure.
It is definitely vice versa. I think you flatter yourself. But let's go back to this. When you don't even have to be a fan. Let's take all the fans out. Let's say it goes 0%. You can ask anybody, and they would have told you United have a goalie problem. So for them to not address it, and when Amorim says, "Hey, it's not. You guys don't know what's going on back there," is he basically saying? Is he just basically creating an atmosphere where you don't know whose fault is what? So that makes life easier for Amorim, right? Like that's what I meant by like a little Mourinho-ish, where almost like looks like he's trying to get himself fired. He's at that mode where Mourinho got like that with Fenerbahce. First season was, the president's great. Second season was like, I don't know what the hell they're doing back there. So he's doing that like, you guys don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Is he basically dissolving himself? Like he maybe said, no, Onana is good. We're fine. Or, you know what I mean? Now we don't know. Like he created an atmosphere where you can't put any blame on Amorim now. Because now he made it sound like, wow, you guys don't know what's going on back here.
No, but they will make it Amorim's fault, won't they? I mean, I'll go back in the comments what Ryan said. And I think that is important. That's exactly what I mean. You look at some players in your team, they can't perform because of the general atmosphere or the way you played or the chemistry or whatever. And you put them in a different team and they just become good players because they were all good players, actually.
Yeah.
So it's the same every season, isn't it? I mean, in the window, United picks. This has been going on years and years. Obviously, that is why. I mean, it's not these after Ferguson. It was before Ferguson as well.
Yeah.
To be honest, or during Ferguson as well. United always picks the star players. The difference now is, I think, what Amorim is saying. Going back to what you said, Amorim is saying they are not letting me do my own thing.
Yes, he's implying it at least.
Yeah, I think that's what he's
saying.
Do
you buy that, or is he? Because I guess when a manager says that after poor results, I kind of take it with a more of a grain of salt as opposed if he said it middle of August.
No, exactly.
And said, I'm not getting we're not getting what we need. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like if you're quiet all that time, and then when things go south, we're like, well, I've been saying it all along. But dude, this is your job. Like, if you let it get to that stage, it's kind of like your job to act before it gets there.
I know, but it's like Mourinho has done. I mean, what can you do if the boss isn't doing what you think should be done? And you are in charge. I mean, you came there to be in charge and manager. It's not like the Turkish manager, isn't it? I mean, he is the manager.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. Well, I'm probably positive that it is not the system. It is not the system how they play, because these are not like under 14s or under 16s or whatever. I mean, these guys are getting millions and millions of pounds, and they are very, very experienced. Most of them. Some of them are like starlets, but they too are clever enough to be versatile, to play in several systems. That's why they are becoming stars or starlets. So if you are you believe in your manager, which is not happening at the moment, that's why I think he's saying the locker room. So two things I've said, like Steve says, even the children knew that we needed a goalkeeper. And the second one is we need a captain that is assisting the manager, not running his own show. And he's a very good player, Fernandez, but he doesn't have a leadership quality, which is very apparent because of the Euro thing, for example.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that was like him in a nutshell right there. Like that was like I rest my case kind of thing. Just show that's why he shouldn't be captain or why he's not a leader. Because it's one thing to do that in the locker room, but he can't because he's wrong. Like that's another thing. Like he's making it up. It's not even like a true scenario where he's screwed
Yeah,
up. So he can't
exactly.
say that in the locker room because they're gonna watch the tape and I'll be like, "What are you talking about? You're going to the wrong. You just let the guy run into the box by himself, kind of a thing." I mean, here's the part of it is like Manu. I feel like that's goes
Yeah.
back to the 97% 3% thing because we see the same thing like in Fenerbahce where it, you know fans look at who's not playing so we
And he
need
should be
him.
playing.
Whereas
Yeah.
last year everybody was like Mainu's not that good, like he kind of like rose up but that he's not the long-term solution, blah blah blah. I think the biggest deal is when they needed, here's why he gets the criticism in terms of the system, and you tell me if you agree to that or not, but like first of all, they went and signed a bunch of number 10s, guys who kind of like thrive more in that position with Mbuemo, Cunha, and stuff. But their best player on paper is Bruno, right? And if you look at the squad, even if you look at probably FIFA in terms of ratings or whatever the hell you're going to look at, he's probably like your best player. And his position is 10. So you're getting your 10 to put in the 6. I know what you're saying in terms of, like they're making millions of dollars and stuff. But then at the same time, if Slot takes Gakpo and puts him in midfield, and if it doesn't work out, you can't be like, well, I mean, Gakpo's a world. I mean, he's an international player. How is he not being able to play mid? There's like a rhyme or reason in terms of why are you playing your best player who's a 10, forcing him into a 6, and there's no legs in that midfield. That's, I think, the biggest criticism. The back 3, back 4, it always goes. And I know like managers, sometimes the 3, sometimes the 5. That's more fluid. But midfield and the spine, we always talk about this, right? The spine of the team being important. You're kind of like Rocky at center back. But then in front of them is a really old Casemiro you have to push around in a wheelchair, or Fernandez, who's not a defensive midfielder, and Ugarte, who turned out to be why, I mean, we're seeing why PSG was like, yeah, you guys can have him, sure.
Yeah. The thing is this. I think if Amorim was left to his own devices, he would not play
boys.
Yeah, Pet Shop Boys. He would not play Fernandez because Fernandez doesn't have anywhere to play in this team. Although he's the best player, it's not it's not how good he is, which he is a good player, and he would be. I mean, in any Premier League team. I know you wouldn't want him because of his character.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want him in the midfield?
Do you think his character makes a difference for a lot of teams, or would they be like, he'll be different over here? Going back to what we were talking about, Højlund and all these people, like they give
because
it.
Nobody would be challenging
Fernandez for the character, or United for Fernandez's character.
It's because he would be the big fish in the small bowl. Nobody would be challenging him.
Yeah.
In United, everybody comes there as a savior. And I think he's, I mean, looking at Euro comment and many others that he's done over the past, especially a couple of years, he's had enough, I think. I mean, he's frustrated as well. Looking at his, after he scored the penalty in Burnley, I thought he was going to have a heart attack because of joy. That was, yes, I understand that, and I praised it, but especially Fernandez's reaction to that penalty. It tells me that he himself is very, very frustrated. So
why didn't he take the Saudi money then?
I don't know. I don't know about the relationship between him and the top management. Because if you remember the magic of Sir Alex was he was the man and top management. He wouldn't let anybody to get in between.
With them, kind of a deal. Yeah,
exactly. So he fired anybody who was trying to
the emperor.
in between, exactly. And they were always his best players or the best players in FIFA, like Beckham's and Ronaldo's and um, who was the French guy?
Uh, the now actor.
The now actor one. Oh, come on.
You're old, man. This is
Cantona.
bad.
Cantona.
Cantona. Cantona.
Yeah,
Yes.
Eric Cantona. So he actually fired those people just because that is why I'm saying Fernandez should be going now. Even if they're getting a new manager in. He is not, or get a manager from Turkey, the ones that we are talking about, like whoever's asking the players what should we play, kids, and what would you like. I don't have any ego, and I'm not very good at this anyway, so let's go.
You guys decide amongst yourselves. But
So
I think the initial reaction was when Amorim came, and probably like this is like maybe like dumb, but in terms of like, oh, they have the same passport, so they'll probably get along great and like work together great, kind of a deal. And it just never happened. It's kind of like odd, but I mean, I know you were very optimistic about when we talked about the points that they might get out of the next few fixtures. One, has that changed after this latest fiasco? And two, if, for example, he make it to the Liverpool game, which is the first game after the international break?
I think he will.
You think he will?
Yeah.
Is that because there'll be a couple of good results in between, or they're just going to stick with it?
I gave the City game half a point in any case, but the way we lost, just shouts, you need a keeper, and you need a center back, and you need a leader on field. So it will be the same in the other games in any case. But I think it depends on how the management, the top management, behaves. I think, and I think they are going to keep him until the Liverpool game.
It's weird because it's almost like, this is what I was talking about, is like it works against United to have one game a week.
Yeah.
Because there is more, like everything is going to the Chelsea game now. There is no like midweek, even if they were in Europa, right? We'll go freaking hammer this team from whatever the hell, like from like Sweden or something like that, and kind of like gain our mojo back a little bit. Throw Mainu out there to start some controversy and stuff like that. But I think this is where, if you get good results, playing once a week is great. If you get bad results, it can really come to bite you in the ass, kind of a deal. But let's get this out of the way so you can do your bragging. Jesus.
Yes,
Arsenal,
please. Yes, please. Yeah, I want to hear this from you, please.
You called it, yes. He pretty much called the score and said like 3-0. So I'll give you that. To the point where he sent me a freaking video, like the moment where he said it. This is how.
Yes, because he's always saying, "Oh, you didn't say that," or "You made 3 guesses and one of them was correct," or whatever.
It's all on record, damn it. We're recording this shit. It's live and it's being recorded. So Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. We're finding out more and more that Bournemouth is actually pretty darn good because they won every single game aside from the Liverpool game. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. We talked about this. Is our boy Vitor on the way out soon? Is he the next one to get canned? Well,
I think he is, but I think he was. Newcastle is not the Newcastle that started the season. Let's say this. I don't know if it's because they played Wolves, but the new guy, who's the guy who scored the goal? Voldemort.
Aldermolde, yeah.
Aldermolde. He sounds like a character from Harry Potter or something. He is good. I watched about half an hour of that game, and he will be adding Voldemort.
From now on, his name shall be Voldemort. Yeah, he does look good. He does look good. Let's put it this way: he looks like he fits that team.
Yeah. I mean, physically, and he's a clever guy. I mean, one of the passes, just the second goal, which was offside, Well, I think he left early, but that was a brilliant ball in midfield. He knows how to widen the game and everything, so he will add a lot to this Newcastle side. But let's see. I don't know if it's because they played Wolves, which had a few chances in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, if they scored those, that would be maybe,
Well,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
sign of a crap team, isn't it? It's like they're always
Yeah,
like, "Oh
exactly.
man, we almost had it," but
Yeah, I know. 89 minutes of quiet.
it's speaking of quiet. Villa has not scored a goal yet. Everton 0. There was kind of I was
Whew.
watching Goal Rush. I know they don't
Well,
have it back
I
there, but
asked this if it was an upset, because this was the second game. This was the second game that I chose.
one of many upsets you picked. Yes, correct.
That is two upsets. The other one, I don't know. I don't remember which one. But they held Everton.
Conveniently.
They held Everton. I don't know if it's a comeback for Villa, if it will count as a comeback for Villa, but it was a crappy game. I just saw the
I mean,
highlights.
I was watching, and they have this thing Goal Rush over here, where the Newcastle game was the game they were showing, and they will,
Mm.
they'll jump around. It's like the old school days when we used to listen on the radio. Like they'll go to a game if there's a goal there, penalty,
Yeah.
big miss, red cards, things like that. And they didn't have to go around a lot, that's for sure, because there was no freaking scoring going on. So we ended up like freaking watching that game for the most part. Palace Sunderland is another one of those. Fulham 1, Leeds 0. Tottenham made easy work of West Ham, to be honest with you. Brentford Chelsea, was my upset pick. I think it kind of tells. I mean, here's the question right here. In between these three games, I'll ask that, and we'll kind of like take a quick look at next week. But Brentford 2, Chelsea 2, Liverpool beating Burnley, we talked about, and then City beating United, we talked about. What are those three scores say in terms of the title race for City, Chelsea, Liverpool?
Brentford had a very good game. This was a very good game.
That
I
was,
think,
yes.
it was a brilliant 90 minutes, especially the second half was a brilliant second half. Very, very good for the neutral as well. Not for a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't think, because there are a lot of signs that they are very weak in this, the transitions. As soon as Brentford got the ball, you would think Brentford is a very informed team by the way they look. They
Yeah.
played in Chelsea, and we know they are not, and that says a lot about Chelsea, I think.
Yeah.
And
How
the
about
others,
City?
well, they played United, haven't they?
I
Uh,
know. I want you to say
Against
it. So.
Altay. The only thing I would say about this, obviously you didn't listen to this, but the guy, the Turkish um, commentator in the in on TV, he was so excited whenever Altay conceded a goal. You would think, well, he definitely is not a Fenerbahce fan, and sort of he was so excited as Haaland scored those goals. Um, City, this is not a sign that they are back in the game. Not at all, but not by any means. I think it's Arsenal and you. By the way, it's looking now.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think Chelsea, that's the second time they lost points. City has already lost 2 games. And I know it's early goings, but yeah, this City game reminds me of the first week where they won. What was that? West Ham? Was it
Yeah.
away? So it was like,
Sure.
oh, they're back. No, they just play West Ham. And
No,
then
they're
this
not.
week, I think it's like, nope, they just played United kind of a deal is what I'm guessing. But I mean, Haaland is Haaland, but we know he's either going to get 2-3 goals or he's going to be invisible kind of a deal. But I have to say this. I mean, when he's taken off on that third one, you could have just like got up and went to, the kitchen to make yourself a sandwich. You knew it was going to be a goal when he was 1v1. And I think that says a lot about his freaking finishing. Like there was no doubts. So that's
No,
definitely not on Altay. The first goal, I think that was
maybe.
vintage Altay, where he comes out halfway, doesn't really come out in close space, doesn't stay in goal and gets, cover the angle either. He just goes like an in between and gets scored on. But let's look at
The thing about the goal, obviously, is his speed, Haaland speed, but you have to go with the defense, getting the ball out and
Yeah.
giving it back to City. So
Liverpool. Okay, let's take a look at next week over here real quick on the way out. Liverpool, Everton. I'll let you, and then you guys are playing Chelsea, and I really think that's huge. That's a huge game for both teams probably, and not that I would mind. As much as I enjoy United misery, I would not mind for a draw or something like that, but that's a game I think it's a win-win, because if Chelsea gets a good score over there, there's going to be even more comedy. But what is your, and then Arsenal plays City. So let's get
I
your
was just going to
prediction.
say you made United Chelsea game the star as in a week where
For rival
Arsenal plays
bros,
City.
you know. Okay, those three games. Let's make your prediction. Let's take your predictions. Liverpool, Everton, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, City. Let's put it on the
Draw.
record so you can brag next week.
Okay, draw. Liverpool, Everton, a draw.
Okay.
Arsenal, a win for Arsenal. 2-0 or 2-1. I'm calling the Arsenal score again. United, I can't be. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. Draw. Arsenal win. What do you think?
I think Liverpool win this. It'll be a different atmosphere back at Anfield. I think it'll be good. It really depends on what happens tomorrow too. Who are you guys playing this week? Never mind. Just kidding. You guys are not in Europe. But Manchester United, Chelsea. I'll go with the draw on that. I'll go with the draw on the other two. I think Arsenal City is a draw too. I think they will play. It'll be a cagey one, I think. I don't think that's going to be a very open game. But Arsenal will get a stupid set-piece goal again, and Haaland hopefully will get one too. That would be an ideal score, I think, for Liverpool too. I mean, at this point, I almost would not mind City beating Arsenal away, I have to say, just because I feel like Arsenal is the bigger threat.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
United-Chelsea game, will definitely be interesting to watch, and that's we should do a watch along over that one actually, but we'll see how that goes this weekend. But okay, so upset special. Let's put it back on the board here.
Okay.
You're a betting man. Where's the money going?
I am the betting man. Bournemouth, Newcastle. I'm going for a Newcastle win there. Would that be upset?
I think so, based on Bournemouth's form.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. So. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
I'm going with the Brentford win away to Fulham.
Okay. That is an upset. Sunderland, Villa. I'm going for
hold
Villa
on,
again.
That's right. We're going you're the only guy who picks multiple upsets. Sunderland, Villa. You're going with Villa.
So aren't we picking two upsets?
You're picking two upsets. Is how you roll.
All right. Okay. The one
upsets, and then so that you can be right like twice.
No. Bournemouth, Newcastle is my one, and the second one, if I have that, Sunderland, Villa. I'm going for Villa. I think that they're going to be better, Villa, as the season goes on.
Would Brighton be considered an upset at this stage?
Yeah, I think so. Brighton win, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a draw game, isn't it?
Like a 2-2. That's a fun game to watch, I think, actually. It'll be pretty darn open. I'll go with the Brighton for my second one, but the one is Brentford over there. But one thing is for sure, we'll talk more about United misery, I'm sure, over the rest of the year. Real quick, answer this. Fast forward to May 2026. Where are they finishing?
9th.
9th?
Yeah, I think so.
That's ambitious.
Is it? 9th. Realistically, 9th. If there's a miracle,
no, not realistically, ambitiously 9th. Realistically,
this is realistic because we have. Well, Cunha is not playing yet, is he? I think he's a game changer. By the way, by the games that we've seen, the Arsenal game, the other game that we won.
I mean, you guys are 14th right now, just to put things into perspective. And
it's only 4 games in. I mean, two wins will bring us back to, I don't know, 10th. Ninth.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah, it's way too early. One win is gonna bounce you up like 5-6 spots. But the thing that I go back with United and I enjoy this misery is you have 4 points, and one of them came in that last second against like Burnley. So could very well be at 2 points sitting next to Villa on the very bottom. But guy can only dream. Hopefully next week you'll be in the relegations.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll celebrate eating keşkek.
You will have to freaking bring it.
I'll bring some in the next one. I'll order some.
Yes, Ozan, make sure you come over here with a spoon so you can try some keşkek over here. But yeah, that's it for us this week. We'll be back same time next week. Do join us then. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.